Hey guys, Noli here and welcome to my channel. So in today's video we have one very exciting ship to test and review, and this is new premium tier 8 German battleship ODIN that will hopefully be released in the game relatively soon. And so the best way to describe this ship is that she is tier 8 Scharnhorst, right? So she's older sister of Scharnhorst. And if you like playing Scharnhorst, you will also like playing ODIN. So she has her advantages and disadvantages, she has her specific playstyle, right? So I personally enjoy playing Scharnhorst. I think that she's super exciting and fun ship to play. She's not the easiest or the best ship to play, but if you treat her with respect, if you respect her playstyle and you keep in mind her advantages and disadvantages, she can perform really well. And it is the same case with ODIN. So in terms of scoring, yes, overall I would give her 4 from 5 points. You could also maybe argue 3 from 5, but I really simply really like playing both Scharnhorst and ODIN, and this is why I will for me go with 4 from 5. Survivability is 3 from 5, maneuverability is 4 from 5, so she is really maneuverable on the top level of all tier 8 battleships. Guns are mixed bag, so 3 from 5, torpedoes are 3 from 5, AA is 2 from 5, and then I will also introduce one new category, and that would be like looks, and so how the ships are looking, and I would give her 5 from 5. So in terms of Scharnhorst and ODIN, I think the Scharnhorst is one of the prettiest ship in the game, at least for me, and I hugely like historical camo, and I also think that ODIN looks like really nice. So she has this elegant slick lines, she looks really fast, and this low section on the stern, yeah, and historical camo, she's really as you can see, in my opinion, really nice ship to play with. And I especially like this black bow and black stern, right? So yeah, that being said, as I said, you have to keep in mind her playstyle. And let's check now statistics, and you will see what I mean. So in terms of maneuverability, in terms of survivability, so you see that she has really low HP pool. In fact, she has the lowest HP pool of all tier 8 battleships. Although she has decent citadel protection, and she has good, relatively, so let's say average torpedo damage reduction. But the feeling is that she does not lose health so fast. And this brings us to second thing, and this is maneuverability, that is really great. So she has really good maximum speed, great acceleration, and great turn time. So she's on the point with Richelieu, a little bit slower to accelerate and turn than Vanguard, but she's really on the higher level of all tier 8 battleships. So she's, yeah, this battle cruiser story is a combination between battleship and cruiser. And this maneuverability can actually help you avoid a lot of incoming damage or close distance and use all of her armaments. Yeah, so then this brings us to the guns, and guns are, as I said, mixed bag. So she has the lowest caliber of all tier 8 battleship, only 305mm. She has a relatively fast reload, 18 seconds, and range is 13.6, as you can see here. Her AP damage is also relatively low, or relatively the lowest AP damage of all tier 8 battleships, so 1357 damage, and she has decent turret reversal speed. Dispersion is, yeah, sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's all over the place, but as it is, so you want to play her in the first part of the game as a standard battleship, and then you want to close the distance in the second part of the game when the situation is clear. Right, and this brings us to the second point, and these are her secondary guns. And this is where you actually want to be. So you want to close this distance to, let's say, around 7 to 10 kilometers. 7 is her sweet spot. And why 7? Because the range on secondary guns are 7.59 kilometers. But the range on auto secondary guns is 6.83. And this brings us then to torpedoes that have a range of 6.9 kilometers. So that means that around 7 kilometers range you can actually use torpedo, auto secondary, secondary, and main guns, and then her damage output is really fantastic if you can close this distance to this 7 kilometers, right? And her AA is, let's say, on the lower side, not something that that you will take a lot of planes down. Yeah, so this is about her. Then I will talk about the playstyle and advantages and disadvantages when we check now the gameplay. So let's jump in the gameplay and see how she's performing in action. Okay, let's check now the ranges. So it is 13.6 on the main battery and 758 on secondary. I didn't have equipment, I had dispersion equipment here. And yeah, so this is the torpedo angle. So as you can see here, so they're wide on the bow but narrow on the stern, and you have to keep that in mind. If you just like bow charge enemy ships, it will be difficult to shoot torpedoes left and right, as you can see, as you will see in this battle. But it's super easy to actually shoot torpedoes from the stern. So she's like in terms of torpedoes, let's say a little bit similar to Admiral Graf Spee. Okay, then in terms of pros, her pros are maneuverability, secondary guns, mid-range torpedoes, and looks. And in terms of cons, so she survivability, then main guns, so she has low caliber and low AP damage, and AA. And that brings us, and this battle with this super example, that brings us to the playstyle. So the playstyle, as I already said, is similar to Scharnhorst or even Tirpitz. So that means choose best time and place to close the distance. It's not like all immediately from the beginning. So usually you're playing conservatively first half of the game and push in the second part of the game. Use island as protection and closing the distance, and try to get on the opposite side of enemy guns and take calculated risk and use all of the DPS available. As I said, so she has the lowest HP pulse from all tier 8 battleships, so you have to keep that in mind when playing her. That means you cannot just rush in because enemy will focus and kill you. On the other hand, if you stay the entire game on long range, she doesn't have dispersion of Roma or Richelieu, so you will, you won't be able to do this high damage output. So you really want to close the distance, so you can use all the DPS, but the enemy is not focusing on you, as you can see here. So I saw that these two battleships have guns on their right, so mine left towards the sea area. I managed to took the destroyer, dodge the torpedoes, and now I am, so actually, as you see here, so I am able to use secondary, auto secondary, main guns. I'm on the opposite side of their guns, and I can use torpedoes. And this is the position that you want to have, like exactly here now. And she is super deadly here. So I was a bit, so I should have 8 with torpedoes here. Never mind, so I just wasted them. Managed to took down, what was it, North Carolina, right? And yeah, now I should have used torpedoes actually now, but yeah, nonetheless. And then I was just thinking that I won't be able to turn on, because of these wide bow angles, I wouldn't be able to turn from the front side, and I was just trying to turn now and actually use torpedoes from the stern. In the end, the team already took down the Bismarck, so never mind. Yeah, that was a little bit clumsy for me, from my side, but nonetheless, the point here is that, yeah, so I use the islands to get on the opposite side of enemy ships, so they cannot focus on me, and then I managed to use, all the armaments that I have in my scenario. And I'm still almost full health. I didn't even use damage control kit or repair kit, and this is exactly how you want to position her. So the crucial element in her is positioning, right? And I think in the end I will finish this game with full health, completely full health. Managed to take 3 ships down and do 65 or 64,000 damage. So it is difficult to stack up the damage in her just like that. So she is not Roma and high damage output ships, but you can really play her effectively if you position correctly. And this is the name of the game in this ship, is just to play, just to position in the way that you can close the distance and not get focused. And that's not always easy. So I'm not saying that she is easy ship to play. You can get blocked, like if enemy ships focus on you in the beginning, especially battleships or CV, you can lose a lot of health and then you cannot push just like that. So you have to keep that in mind, that there is certain limitations. But on the other hand, if you're, if you keep that in mind and you try to avoid that, and then push in the second part of the game, so using islands as a cover, then you can really stack up this damage quite fast, especially if you're on this 7-kilometer range and you really want to be on this 7-kilometer range. And the other thing is just to keep in mind these torpedo angles when you're charging, or maybe you want actually to kite the enemy ship so you can shoot the torpedoes from the stern. Not always the easiest thing, but nonetheless. Okay guys, I hope you find this useful. I think I will get this ship on my personal account because I think I will like playing her. Please hit like and subscribe button, and see you in the next video. Bye!